So my name is Kris Cross, the Christian's cross, signifying the life of one who lives because he's dead to the flesh. This piece is Tempted. I wrote it 2 years back, and I remember when my roommates were talking about something that happened at prayer meeting. This girl comes to pray, and because of the way she's dressed, everyone is confused. Tempted. Guys, I'm tempted. I'm tempted to say this. Please, with all due respect, take a glance at the beautiful girl close. Well, go ahead, have a quick glance. Have a seesaw, not a Mary. Mommy 360. Mary, go round, because I don't want your mind going bonkers. Your attention on a roller coaster ride. No, I want this to be a fair playground. So I'ma seize that. Caesar, your new task is to pay attention to me. Let me have what's mine. Cool. Be careful, little eyes, what you see, 'cause it's the second glance that ties the hands as evil pulls the string. And yes, when you took that glance, some of you turned back all fine. Some others were merry looking. For those of you who took long to get back, you owe me the Caesar's fine. Charlie boss, you know my fault too. The girl I looked at, she was just so fine. Well, actually, that's what I'm talking about. A couple of the guys are still in a trance. Girls, walking with you nowadays is like walking through a landmine. Boom. Let me explain. I entered my room and this was the discussion on the floor. Apparently, my roomie's friend went for a meeting to seek the face of God, but then he meets this breast yelling at him, "Hey, you go do?" So, how is he to keep his eyes on the Father when if he reads in between the lines, in between those breast lines, he could see a small chain cross saying, "Salvation's here." Well, she also came to pray, but seemed to use a little bit more anointing oil and heap those Golgotha mountains to reach the pedigree of Mount Everest so she could have her prayers reach the heavens first. But how can this guy's mind Everest when these boobs won't stop staring him in the face? Guess what? He's not a fan of Egyptian mythology. No, he hasn't watched the Mummy yet. Yet he's in a real case of booby traps. It's not a joke. Jumping over these hurdles to avoid a false start, foes falling into love pits coming at him, and here comes those stupid fairy darts aiming at his heart, trying to at least hit a vein or artery. And the mastermind, well, it's Cupid's art. Archery. The next thing you know, he's on bigmama.com looking for the same boobs he had a crash on. Guess what? I'm a mechanical engineer, but this crash is way out of my league, so I recommend Dr. Jesus. You know, his only crime was probably because he loved to pray, but no, it's because he took another glance, and instead of leaving Odeshi, he did stay, but see, body no be firewood. And I also have my own experience, but let me clarify, I'm not a bad boy. Walking by the parade grounds in Tech one day, I had to compromise small. I see this lady talking to her friend, her backside facing me. I see something. It yells to me, "Oga, see real nyash." Hey, it's not a matter of the size, it's about the color. See, I had to take another glance to make sure I hadn't seen real butts exposed, a long shirt lifted at the butt. If she was in BAM shots, then it only covered the cheek of her butt. See, like the gray, what I saw made my eyes sore, cause it was an eyesore, and till this day I can't really tell what I saw. It left a scar only the Master Jesus could erase, and so I'm fine. Fine. If actions do speak louder than words, then you have to agree with me that even some quiet girls kasapan, cause their actions and inactions leading to the way they are dressed send messages to guys to which they end up distressed, and our boys are brave. They've lost their moral compass on campus and can't seem to find the right direction, and now they're battling with that Ebola erection, and that Ebola, electronic trash, pornography. So I'm tempted to say on their behalf that could you cover those thighs and those cleavages, and if you losing clothes, we'll be fine, because lust wants to take first place in ruling our minds. See, I always hope to marry this daughter of Eve. But when I take our souls and I add them, I can't be that Adam, because the value produced seems odd, not even so we are not a pair. Because of the way she dresses, even before we get married, I could foresee ourselves eating that apple. Yeah, fornication. God's precious holy gift to me, Saint Eve. Steve's job's now to make me fall. And no, this is not a sign of weakness on my part. I'm not weak in mind. My mind's not Microsoft, because even without being drunk or drugged with a pill or tablet, I've made it clear to y'all that through our eye, parts are created that can lead to a force. So ladies, please, be simple. No HTC's high-tech clothing, because after putting on all those China wares, you might just break up and miss the high-tech, no, and end up like a techno, with a bit of everything you see displayed by others. So iron out those shortcomings, because sometimes, like in my case, the seesaw doesn't work, and we can only look at your reflections through the mirror on the wall to avoid yelling, Versace, Versace, Medusa, Medusa, head on me. Medusa, the seducer, seductress, because we might just be turned into that Sharon stone if our bare eyes meet your face. Let's face it, you're beautiful, you're sweet, you're enough to die for. Even if you dress up like clowns, we'll gladly pursue you. But I'm not saying dress up like the Ninja Turtles with a veil, exposing only your eyes, skirts sweeping the floor, gloved hands, etc. Extremely terrible clothing. No, simple and decent is all we ask. Finally, if you haven't heard or still haven't made plans of changing your dress codes, the news flash. This is the sequence or series trending in most modern families. Whether they be found in the Smallvilles, homelands, or boondocks, arrows are being shot through marriages. Wives are now lost in their own homes, living like the walking dead, as husbands have become pretty little liars, spending a few hours at home from work but acting like it's been 24 hours and looking forward to the next prison break at dawn. So when they put on their suits, it's, darling, I'm off to work, when actually he's in a race to make the client list of that drop dead diva. This happy African family living their American dreams, have their ideal American dad taken away by this light-skinned young girl. And now the real man of the house, the white queen, is locked in the Game of Thrones with this white collar girl. Well, if you ask me, even the Vikings will lose this. Any heroes? Your guess is as good as mine. She needs to look at visiting the Boston Legal. So, here's the deal. I guarantee you will get the originals, the family guys you've always wanted, if you pledge to dress just right, so that you don't end up like those desperate housewives trying to keep out such a scandal at home, crisis of your boo, falling into the hands of some girlfriends or devious maids who end up telling your kids a nasty ordeal of how I met your mother after I slept with your father, because once upon a time you chose boys before flowers, and now have to explain your baby daddy's actions of following everything in skirts like it's the Big Bang Theory.